Welcome back to Boruto Interview Special Number 7. This one reviewing the 26th chapter of the manga of Boruto Naruto Next Generation's Gift. This is something really weird about this series. Seems like a lot of these chapters just put one word titles. First time we have this really cool cover of, I think this is done by Kishimoto, where it's basically Naruto and Kurama the Man-tailed fox in the cover. The chapter starts off with looks like a flashback to something in the organization Kira. It looks like they're developing, I think, a new batch of child clones. It's not. It looks really good, but it doesn't look. It looks like from looking at it, it looks like it's just wires hooked up to tubes and looks like children in these IV bags. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And we see Kawanki speaking with the leader of Kira. There's nothing to be afraid of, stuff like that. So an explosion. He wakes up in the hospital in the Hidden Leaf, and who's standing in front of him at his bedside? It's Konohamaru, Shikahamaru, and Naruto. Yep, Naruto sitting at the foot of his bed, inside the side. I should point out though, Konohamaru himself does not technically wear this scarf in the actual anime. I don't know why, he just doesn't. So he's like, where am I? You're in a safe place. The village of Konoha, aka the Hidden Leaf Village. Just also basically collapsed. It's he tried to escape. He's like, no, don't worry about it. No need to do that. And he introduces himself. He's just the head of the village. And a good amount of dialogue. Naruto explains he basically understands how this kid feels because he's a Jurajiki. Yep. So, and then we have a Kage conference to discuss this. Yeah, this came completely out of nowhere, but from my point of view, this is perfectly understandable because I'm sure something like this is basically something that would draw attention of the big five villages. Yeah, all five of them are there, and they agreed to have basically Naruto's plan just to keep an eye on him, while also being two places at the same time, and even Karasuchi, the Tazakage, basically interests Bushin. Basically, is this the Shadow clone or is this the actual Naruto? She'll figure that out later. Weirdly enough, the way that the artist draws her and a lot of the other characters, it's very different than how they were depicted in the last chapters. Like, it seems like the way that the artist basically is drawing this, it seems like he's trying to very closely imitate Kishimoto's art style. Now he looks like he's doing something else, like Tilakit, the Tazakage. She looks completely different than she does in the regular. If this was Kishimoto, she basically looked understandable. Naruto looks perfectly fine the way he looks. Chotaro looks like he's a little kid. Yeah, this guy is supposed to be Chotaro, the Mazakage, and he looks like a little boy. And as for Karasanshi, the Tazakage, she looks like a teenager. Despite the fact this woman is supposed to be in her early 30s. As a matter of fact, all of these Kage are supposed to be in their early 30s. Yet Naruto looks like his actual age. But Chotaro and Karasuchi, Chotaro looks like, with the exception of the facial hair, he kind of looks like he's a little boy, and Karasuchi looks like she's a teenager. I don't really know why they are depicted for. And, well, in the case of Gaara looks like he's depicted correctly. Yeah, Gaara, I gotta praise the artist for depicting him correctly, and I don't really get why in the world that the Razakage has got facial hair, but he does have facial hair seen in the anime. And looks like he's basically building up some bulk. My personal guess is he must follow the style set by the Razakage, his predecessor, So let's put on a bunch of muscle for really no explained reason. And yeah, basically, despite Gaara himself has no problem with Naruto's plan. Everybody else basically had to agree with it. And we see briefly Boruto for like one page. He doesn't show up again to the very end. And then Naruto takes Kuraki to his house to try to chase him. He's like, yo. And he takes him to Uzumaki house, and we see for the first time in quite a while in the manga, Hinata. And man, she looks completely different under this one. Yeah, it's like the way the artist draws her. It's kind of like even though that she looks almost, it's like she's depicted to be here, even though that in the show she has more formed face. Yeah, let me show up basically how the artist draws Hinata. Yeah, this is supposed to be Hinata. Yeah, this is supposed to be Hinata. And I'm like, okay, that does not look much like Hinata anyways. It's kind of like the artist who did this particular chapter. It seems like this is a different artist. Yeah, she looks completely different. She and Kuroshibe look completely different, while everyone else looks mostly the same, but she looks completely different in this artwork. Yeah, it's like the male characters, most of them anyways. We also see a quick cameo by Hiwami. Yeah, she's there for a good couple panels. And after a little while, Karnak is like, he wants to get out of there. So he flips over the dining room table while also knocking over a vase. It looks like it kind of breaks. And he gets away. He's like, seriously? And he goes to the Kyuubi form. Just like that. Yeah. Just like that. He says, what an unreasonable bastard. Yeah, that's what he calls this kid. And he's like, go ahead. You're free to go wherever. You're free to try and go wherever you want. But I won't take my eyes on you, not to back room because clear me at least. This is his duty that he has to protect the villages. This is Okage. And then him he's like, Dad? Like, everything is alright here, man. I don't know what is up with the way that the writer, he writes sort of Naruto calling people by part of their name. Yeah, he does this also with Shikahamaru as well. I don't know why. Even though in the actual series, he does not address her like Hinami. It's Himare. I don't know what is up with it. The way the writer wrote this dialogue, it's really weird. And of course, well, it is kind of weird having his daughter see him in his Kyuubi form. He's like, and then he just switches back like just like that, like no problem. Even though this takes up a lot of energy, it basically takes a lot of energy what he does. And then Naruto puts the table back over, and then it's like, okay, Boruto's supposed to be home, and then poof, there's Boruto, and he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, you a-hole, what are you doing here? Where did you get that from? Yep, you're a karma brat. And says we lived together for a while. And of course, Boruto notices the broken vase on the floor. Yeah, and he says, oh, isn't this Himare's flower vase? How did it get broken to little pieces like that? We had a bit of a quarrel just a little while ago. It just fell off the table and broke. A quarrel? Yeah, and of course he first let me get this an a-hole. Yeah. It's the way that the translators did it for this particular website. This is what a noisy bastard. Yeah. Seiki 2. Looks like he's about to get a fight. It's like, wait a second, Seiki 2. And now it's like, now hold on. Yeah? Yeah, and Boruto basically is upset over the vase. He says, that's not just an ordinary flower vase. That's something Hiri made and gave to Mom for her birthday. That's very sweet of for her to do. And she seems pretty upset. She seems pretty sad about not getting rid of vase. Says, my bad. There wasn't any malice into it. What do you mean? Okay, says me. I'm Kawanaki, you. Okay, I'm not saying that. You S-head. Yeah, I am not saying what this manga basically is saying. So yeah, this guy's got a foul mouth on him. Says, I'm Boruto. Remember this, you freeloader. Yeah, I will say that. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Why in the world is the translator of this particular, who translates this manga in English, why are they giving Boruto a foul mouth? Calling Kawanaki an a-hole twice? In the same chapter with his mother and also who's in the same room, and also his little sister. Shouldn't he be a little more careful? I get maybe Kawanaki doing this, but Boruto should not be a foul mouth at all. None of the characters ever in the series were ever foul mouths, and this is ridiculous. I don't know why in the world the translators did this for, but it's the website I'm reading it from. But there's some things I thought was a little weird, like Naruto going to Kibi form just all of a sudden, just like that, and then he's like, and then once his other game's like, oh, everything's fine. As far as I can tell, this is the first time. This is actually the first time since the tuning exams that she's actually seen him do this. In the case of the way it's shown in the show itself, he has to sort of basically just put his feet together, just like build up some strength. It can't just be like a quick little like that. It's like, what is up with the writing for this particular chapter when it comes to how it seems like there was some panels missing? He should have done some hand sign or something, but nope. Yeah. Now, I get maybe the reason why that he's brought to Hidden Leaf Village because he's found a Hidden Leaf team, so why not? But why in the world would Naruto bring this kid who was virtually a danger to the village? Why would he bring it to his own house? This really makes no sense at all for Naruto to do. And Kawanki not basically giving a proper apology for knocking over the vase. I mean, I get Boruto, his reaction to it. That's perfectly understandable. His sister made it for his mother, for the mother, made it for their mother for her birthday. That was sweet to do. And the way I can see in the manga, she seems like she's very sad, not angry. She's just like very sad to see her mom's birthday present basically being smashed like that. Yeah. And Naruto doesn't feel anything toward this at all. I mean, this is something his daughter gave his own wife for her birthday. I appreciate the fact they mentioned it's not his birthday. I kind of wish they would show this. I mean, the only characters' birthdays they show in the series so far in the Boruto series has been Boruto's birthday and Himari's birthday. I kind of wish they would show Naruto's birthday because his birthday, as far as I can tell, has never been shown in the series. They say his birthday is October 17th, but it's technically been celebrated once the entire series. And that was for one episode of season 20 when when Kage was defeated, when his father wished him happy birthday because the day the war ended was basically on his birthday. I mean, what a great birthday present that he got. He ended the war. He got basically to have a birthday by his late father. Yep. But in the case of this, like, from what I can tell, definitely, some of the stuff in here made sense. Kage Conference, the reason, as for where they are, from what I can tell, it kind of looks like the Land of Iron. Or it could be some other place. They don't really say where this is. It just, we abruptly cut to the Kage Conference. The problem with this chapter has some problems. Like I said, Naruto going to Kibe form completely out of nowhere. And for absolutely no reason. Naruto will be rinsed like an idiot. That's another problem with it. The way they cut this stuff is really weird. Yeah, it's like, oh, we're at a Kage conference for no reason at all. I get the reason why it was probably called because of Kira, who is basically becoming a threat now. I get that. The flashback is not properly explained. It's like, oh, it's a flashback for Kawanaki, and then we cut the present. I get that. The pacing for that was fine. And of course, where Naruto basically takes Kawanaki to his home. That pacing was fine too. There is a couple pacing problems, like I said. The way they cut to the Kage conference, and of course, the way that Naruto just completely out of nowhere goes to Kibi form for really no reason, just to show off the fact that he can do it. And he didn't, from what I could tell, his daughter didn't seem upset that he was doing it. She looked like she had no problem with it. She seemed like was a little confused of why he was doing it in their home. Yeah, I get her confusion why she did that. One of my personal problems, aside from the minor pacing problems, is the way some of the women are drawn in here. Which is very, very weird. It's like, where certain characters, like Gar, for example, the way he's drawn in here, there's a really good job depicting him. Naruto himself, they did a really good job. Seems like a lot of the male characters did a fantastic job drawing them. The female characters is where basically I think that the artist really dropped the ball on. Like Karasuki doesn't look anything like she's supposed to look. She looks like she's a teenager. And Chotaro, he's probably the only male character I saw in this whole chapter who doesn't look his appropriate age. He looks like a little boy with facial hair. Karasuki looks like a teenager. Hinata, the way she looks in here, she looks like the way she did when she was in part 1. The way her head looked, like way her head and hair looked. It looked like her part 1 look. I have no idea why in the world the artist did it for. At least Himari looks like she's drawn correctly. But she's like the only female character I've seen in this whole chapter who's actually drawn correctly. But yeah, not so sure what's up with the artwork on these two characters. But yeah, it's a pretty good chapter. I like the story for it. Even though it has got kind of weak points for this particular chapter, but it's a strong chapter despite its problems. I'm gonna give this chapter roughly a 9 out of 10. Normally I would give a chapter like this a 9.5, but I have my problems with it, and I just list them off in this video. The way it's sort of cut, the way some of the female characters look when they don't look completely accurate to how they're supposed to look, and let's see, Boruto basically, some of his swearing was completely unnecessary, and I kind of thought, though, that Himari should have a little bit more reaction to seeing something she made. If you want to think of one person, in my opinion, who should have been upset that that vase was destroyed, was Hinata. She should have had some reaction to it. She had no reaction to seeing a birthday present, something that she was given as a birthday present being destroyed the way it was. She should have been upset by it, but she wasn't at all. I didn't see any reaction on her face at all. It's kind of like she gave sort of a normal expression. She seemed like she was kind of sad, but I kind of thought that she should have been more overreacting. Not even Naruto's upset over. He seemed like he kind of is, but I think that Hinata should have been the most upset because that was a birthday present from her daughter. Yeah. But otherwise, though, that's really it for this particular review. Okay. So stay tuned for my next review, which is going to be a comic corner. And then the only review I'm planning for today is a review of the newest chapter for 7 Deadly Sins. Okay? Enjoy the next video. Bye.